I still remember Mrs. Thompson. She was 72, sharp as ever, but always tired. Her blood sugar jumped like a roller coaster. Her cholesterol stayed stubbornly high. She'd tried every pill, every diet. Then one morning, she started mixing a small shot of apple cider vinegar, but not the way most people do. And within weeks, her energy returned, her labs improved, and even her doctor was stunned. Hi, I'm Dr. Howard Tucker. And after decades studying longevity and metabolic health, I've seen one small daily habit separate those who age strong from those who struggle. And today, I'm sitting down with my dear friend and colleague, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, Japan's legendary physician and longevity expert, to talk about one of the most misunderstood health tonics in the world, apple cider vinegar. Dr. Hinohara, welcome back to the show.
Always a pleasure, Dr. Tucker. This topic excites me because, for once, the science and the tradition finally meet.
That's exactly why we're diving in. We'll explore how the right way to mix apple cider vinegar can help balance cholesterol, stabilize blood sugar, and even calm digestion, all backed by real science, not social media myths. So stay with us, because the way most people drink it might actually be slowing their progress instead of helping it. Let's start here. Most people think vinegar works like a quick fix. Take a shot, get results. But what's really happening inside the body when we take it the wrong way?
That's a great question. Apple cider vinegar, or ACV, contains acetic acid, and this compound changes how the body processes both fat and sugar. But when taken straight or on an empty stomach, it can irritate the esophagus and strip away protective enzymes.
So the problem isn't the vinegar itself, it's the way we take it?
Exactly. The body needs context. Dilution and timing are everything. When mixed properly, say a tablespoon in a glass of warm water with certain natural buffers, ACV supports insulin sensitivity, helps the muscles absorb glucose more effectively, and signals the liver to reduce cholesterol production.
And the science supports that, doesn't it?
It does. A 2021 study in the Journal of Functional Foods found that older adults who took diluted ACV with meals saw a 30% improvement in post-meal blood sugar control. And Japanese research has shown that consistent use can raise HDL, the good cholesterol, while lowering triglycerides within 8 weeks.
That's remarkable, especially for seniors who've struggled with unpredictable energy or sugar crashes.
Yes, but the secret lies in how it's mixed. When you pair vinegar with the right companion ingredients like soluble fiber or amino acids, you slow down glucose absorption and protect the stomach lining. That's where the magic happens. It becomes restorative instead of harsh.
So you're saying that instead of a morning shot, we should be thinking of it more like a tonic, something balanced, buffered, supportive?
Precisely. The body after 60 is more sensitive. You don't need extremes, you need harmony. When you respect that, vinegar stops being sour medicine and starts being gentle repair.
Let's get practical now. Everyone listening is probably wondering, what's the right way to mix it? What's the ideal ratio that works without upsetting the stomach?
The simplest, safest blend I've found in decades of practice is this: 1 tablespoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar mixed into 1 full glass of warm water. Never cold, never straight. Warm water helps activate the enzymes and soften the acidity.
And when you say raw, you mean the kind with the mother, that cloudy sediment floating at the bottom?
Exactly. That's the part most people throw away, yet it's the most powerful. It contains living enzymes and good bacteria that help rebalance gut flora. And the gut, as you know, plays a huge role in both cholesterol and blood sugar.
Right. I've seen studies showing that a healthy gut microbiome can directly influence how the liver processes cholesterol.
That's correct. When you drink this tonic before a meal, ideally 20 minutes before, it slows the breakdown of starches into sugars. This keeps glucose levels steady rather than spiking. Over time, that means less strain on the pancreas and more balanced insulin sensitivity.
So, not first thing in the morning on an empty stomach,
Not unless it's diluted further, perhaps 2 teaspoons instead of a tablespoon. Seniors especially should avoid taking it straight because the acid can irritate the stomach lining. But when buffered with warm water or a touch of natural honey, it becomes gentle.
I imagine timing also plays a role. Morning or evening, does it make a difference?
It does. Morning doses help set up stable energy and appetite control for the day. Evening doses, about an hour before bed, can assist in overnight glucose regulation and support liver detoxification while you sleep. A Japanese clinical trial in 2019 found that seniors who took ACV in the evening had lower fasting blood sugar the next morning compared to those who took it at breakfast.
Fascinating. So the body actually continues balancing itself while we rest.
Yes, and that's the beauty of it. The acetic acid doesn't just lower sugar in the bloodstream. It signals the liver to produce less cholesterol and burn more fat for energy. That dual action, regulating glucose and lipids, is why consistent use makes such a difference.
That makes sense. It's not a quick cleanse, it's metabolic training, gently reminding the body how to regulate itself again.
Precisely, you're not forcing a result, you're guiding the system back to balance, one warm glass at a time.
You know, doctor, a lot of people watching right now probably think apple cider vinegar works like a solo act. Drink it, let it work its magic, done. But you've said before, it's more like a duet. It needs a partner. What do you mean by that?
Exactly that, John. Vinegar alone has power, but when it meets food, especially the right kind of food, it becomes therapeutic. It's not just what you take, it's what you take it with. When apple cider vinegar enters the stomach alongside fiber, protein, or healthy fats, it slows digestion in a beautiful way. Sugar from your meal enters the blood gradually instead of all at once.
Like a time-release system.
Precisely, think of your body as a traffic controller. If all the glucose rushes into the bloodstream at once, chaos follows. Insulin spikes, energy crashes, cholesterol production goes up. But if vinegar is there, it acts like a traffic light, slowing the rush and guiding each nutrient safely through.
That's fascinating because most people just take it first thing in the morning or swallow a spoon before bed. But you're saying the real benefit happens when it's part of a meal.
Yes, especially before or during meals that contain starches, rice, bread, pasta, potatoes. Vinegar's acetic acid reduces the activity of certain digestive enzymes like amylase, which means those starches turn into sugar more slowly. That gives your body time to handle them efficiently.
So, for someone who's managing blood sugar or cholesterol, pairing matters.
It's everything. For example, one study from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that people who took apple cider vinegar before eating white bread had 31% lower blood sugar afterward, compared to those who didn't. The effect was strongest in older adults.
31%? That's remarkable.
It is, and when you pair it with protein, like eggs, beans, or Greek yogurt, the results compound. Protein slows digestion naturally, while vinegar amplifies that effect by signaling satiety hormones in the brain. That means you stay full longer, eat less later, and your metabolism becomes more stable.
So this tiny drink before a meal can literally retrain your hunger signals?
Yes, and it does it gently. There's no crash, no stimulant. It teaches your body balance instead of punishment. And this balance extends to cholesterol too. Vinegar's acetic acid activates an enzyme called AMPK, the same enzyme triggered during exercise or fasting. It tells the liver to stop producing excess cholesterol and to start using stored fat for fuel.
That's the part that gets me every time. You're saying it mimics some of the same processes as exercise, but naturally, through chemistry.
Correct. It's like giving your metabolism a small nudge, not a shove. And when you add high-fiber foods like oats or apples, the synergy becomes even stronger. Fiber traps cholesterol in the gut. Vinegar reduces its creation in the liver, and together they lower levels safely without medication.
That's an elegant partnership. Simple food and ancient wisdom meeting modern science.
And that's what I love about it. We're not adding something foreign to the body. We're just restoring the rhythm it once knew. Steady sugar, calm appetite, balanced cholesterol.
That's powerful. And I can see why seniors especially would benefit. It's easy, inexpensive, and rooted in real biology.
Yes, it's a gentle reminder that healing doesn't have to be complicated. 1 tablespoon, the right timing, and the right partner food. When those elements align, the body remembers how to heal itself.
Beautifully said. And in our next part, we'll explore what happens when you combine that same wisdom with your evening routine. Because what you do before bed can multiply these effects overnight. Stay with us. Doctor, earlier you mentioned something that caught my attention. Taking apple cider vinegar before bed can actually improve how the body resets. Overnight. That sounds almost too simple. How does that work?
It's simple but not accidental. The body follows a rhythm, what we call the circadian metabolic cycle. During the night, your liver does most of its repair work. It breaks down stored fat, processes toxins, and stabilizes blood sugar. When you give it the right tools before sleep, like a diluted vinegar tonic, you enhance that process naturally.
So instead of the body working harder through the night, it works smarter.
Exactly. Vinegar before bed helps keep blood sugar stable while you sleep. For many seniors, that's crucial because nighttime glucose spikes are linked to poor sleep and early morning fatigue. In one Japanese study, adults who took a small dose of diluted apple cider vinegar at dinner had lower fasting glucose the next morning and reported deeper, steadier sleep.
That's remarkable. And it makes sense. I've had patients wake up groggy or hungry at 3 a.m., not realizing their blood sugar dipped and triggered stress hormones.
Yes, and that's where vinegar helps. It gently buffers the drop. It prevents those roller coaster swings that jolt the body awake. When the glucose line stays smooth, cortisol, like the stress hormone dosage, stays low, and melatonin can do its job.
I imagine that also affects how the liver handles fat overnight.
It does. Acetic acid activates AMPK even while you sleep, encouraging the body to burn fat for energy instead of storing it. Over time, this translates into lower triglycerides and improved cholesterol profiles. And because vinegar supports mild detoxification through the liver, many people notice clearer skin, steadier energy, and even reduced bloating by morning.
It's almost like the body gets a quiet tune-up while we rest.
That's the perfect way to put it. Healing doesn't have to happen under stress. The right nighttime routine creates an environment where the body can restore itself. A warm glass of water, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, maybe a touch of cinnamon or honey to buffer the acidity, and the system begins to balance itself naturally.
It's such a hopeful thought, isn't it? That at any age, even past 60, you can still guide your body back to harmony. Not through force, but through rhythm.
Yes, and that's what I tell every patient. Aging isn't decline, it's a conversation. When you give your body the right signals, it answers back, quietly, but powerfully.
Now, doctor, before everyone rushes to their kitchen, let's talk about safety. What are some of the biggest mistakes people make with apple cider vinegar?
The most common one, John, is thinking more means better. It doesn't. The body thrives on consistency, not excess. Anything beyond 2 tablespoons a day can irritate the stomach or even lower potassium over time. Seniors especially should start with just 1 teaspoon in warm water and build up slowly.
I've also seen people taking it straight, almost like a dare, and then wondering why their throat burns.
Yes, and that's one mistake I wish no one made. Undiluted vinegar is far too acidic. It can damage the esophagus and erode dental enamel. Always mix it in a full glass of water and, if possible, use a straw or rinse your mouth afterward. Think of it as medicine for the inside, not for the mouth.
Good point. I imagine timing also matters for safety.
Absolutely. Never drink it immediately after medications. Vinegar can alter absorption rates, especially for heart or diabetes medicines. Leave at least a 30-minute window. And for those with ulcers, severe reflux, or kidney issues, consult your doctor before starting. Natural doesn't mean risk-free. It means needs respect.
That's so important. Now let's talk about the long game. How can someone turn this into a gentle, lifelong habit rather than a short-term experiment?
Start by linking it to something you already do. For example, have your morning vinegar tonic right after brushing your teeth or before your first meal. In the evening, sip it as a calm-down ritual before bed, instead of dessert or late snacks. The key is rhythm, small, predictable signals that the body can trust.
So it becomes less about chasing a result and more about nurturing a routine.
Exactly. When you approach it with care, vinegar becomes a quiet anchor in your day, balancing blood sugar, easing digestion, and gently protecting the heart. It's not a quick detox or a trend, it's an ally.
And I suppose pairing it with mindful eating, good fats, fiber, hydration, multiplies those effects.
Yes. Longevity isn't built on one habit, it's a symphony. Vinegar just happens to be one of the instruments that keeps the rhythm steady.
Beautifully said. So, to everyone listening, take it slow, stay consistent, and give your body the chance to respond. This is the kind of wisdom that builds strength decade after decade.
Exactly. You're not fighting age, you're partnering with it. And apple cider vinegar, when used with respect, becomes one of the simplest ways to remind your body that balance is still possible, every single day.
You know, Doctor, listening to you today reminds me of something my mentor once said. Healing isn't a discovery, it's a remembering. And I think that's what we've done here. We've reminded people that balance isn't lost with age, it's just waiting to be reawakened.
I couldn't agree more. The body never truly forgets how to heal. It only needs the right environment, warmth, rhythm, nourishment, and a little patience. Apple cider vinegar may seem simple, but it symbolizes something deeper. The return to partnership with your own body.
I love that. Because for so many seniors, the world has told them that health must come from a prescription or a supplement. Yet sometimes the most profound change begins in your kitchen. One glass, one small habit, repeated every day.
Exactly. And when you add intention, it becomes more than a drink. It becomes a daily conversation with your body. I'm still here, I'm still listening. That mindset alone can transform how you age.
And if you've made it this far into the episode, that tells me something important. You care about your health, you're curious, and you're not willing to accept decline as inevitable. That spirit is where longevity truly begins.
Yes. Every time you take that gentle sip, you're reminding your body that healing is possible. Not through extremes, not through deprivation, but through steady care. That's the secret every centenarian I've met understands.
So to everyone watching, start small. A tablespoon in warm water before a meal or before bed. Do it not out of fear, but out of respect for what your body can still do. And if this episode gave you something to think about or a ritual to try, share it with someone you care about.
Because wellness spreads through example, not instruction. When others see your energy returning, your calm growing, your mornings feeling lighter, they'll ask what changed. And you can tell them, I just started listening to my body again.
Beautifully said, Doctor. Until next time, stay curious, stay consistent, and remember, longevity isn't a race against time. It's a rhythm you create, one choice at a time.
And it all begins with that first glass.